You know what sounds like a really good idea?
Absolutely not.
Girl, it's hot as hell. I like to dive today. Not kidding. I was getting ready, jumped in the shower, tried to throw on a little makeup to look like I was alive, because God knows the last episode we did, I looked a little dead. So I decided, okay, let's just kind of fix yourself a little bit. Put on a little bit of makeup. Not a normal thing for me. I walked outside, literally grabbed my stuff off the couch, opened my door before I walked off my porch. I'm just drenched. I had sweat on my lip. It's running. What the hell? This is why I don't wear makeup.
I know, I feel you. So it is hot outside, but it is negative 20 degrees in my office. And so it's like I'm freezing in there, I'm burning up outside. It's miserable. Absolutely miserable.
Yeah, this heat sucks. I'm over it. I'm over the heat. I don't want any more heat. And I know we still have July and August. And I'm just like, no,
I know.
I don't want to.
It's gonna be bad.
Stay home.
I ran to Walmart after work because I had to get these wired earbuds.
Mm-hmm.
It was. Do you go over there? Oh, don't.
No,
It's awful.
no, I don't like Walmart.
It's terrible. So like two of the lanes are nothing but the grocery pickup lines.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere to park.
Yep.
And where there is to park, it's like way out here, and so everybody else is trying to park there. It was a madhouse.
Yeah. And they've redone everything, so you can't find anything. So you're walking down every aisle like, where the hell did they make this? Where's the corn? Where's the corn? Where's the vegetables?
Somehow miraculously, I walked in and I'm like, okay, here's batteries. I turned the corner and there were the little earbuds. So I got
Good.
I got everything out. So
Yeah, we need these. We couldn't hear ourselves last week.
well, I'm glad to know that it wasn't user error. We were just missing an important piece of equipment.
Yep, it was all going in and it just wasn't coming out.
I still don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it.
Let's just say my husband and I practiced really long the other night. After we recorded that day, I took all the equipment home, spread it out all over my living room, and I was like, I got to figure this out. What is happening? Because God knows I've asked people for help, but nobody wants to help me. So I did this myself. So yay, success.
I would love to help. I am technology challenged. It's a wonder that I work on a computer all day.
Right.
I mean, I can do what I need to do. I can, but fixing complex things,
yeah,
my thing.
Yeah. My husband, he's pretty good at techno stuff, and he knows probably about 75% of what needs to be known. So I pulled all this out, and he came in. He walked in from work. He's like, "Oh Lord," and I was like, "I need help." And he's like, "What do you need?" So I told him what I needed. He walks into this room. He's got this closet in the hallway. It's got all his gadgets and stuff in it. And he opens it up, and he's in there fumbling. I can hear him just rambling through stuff. He walks back down the hall, and he goes, "Here you go. Plugged it in. So I turned everything on. I was like, it works. I can hear myself. What did you do?" He goes, "You're welcome."
Perfect.
Smart ass.
I know. I'm impressed he knew or was organized enough to know
Exactly what I needed.
exactly and where to get it.
He knows what he has. Because I will move something or grab something, and he'll walk over and he'll be like, "Hey, where's my thing? It was right here." And he'll call what it is. I'm like, "That little thing that looks like a twisty tie with a black thing on top?" "Yeah, I'm using it." "You don't even know what it's called." I don't care.
I know what it works.
I needed it. I knew what it was. Didn't know what it was called. I used it. So
Valid.
But yeah, so it is what it is. Just
All right.
getting through life.
Hear you. Okay, I have a question. I was thinking about this earlier today.
Okay.
So I know we touched on this a little bit the last time we talked, because we talked about your mom and how this started,
The podcast.
the podcast started as that. What was the concept, or kind of what was the idea behind the inspiration behind, I guess like kind of turning it into this Midnight Maven podcast?
Wow, that's a good question. It actually kind of happened by accident. So I had Judy's Daughter, the
Mhm.
Jamie Good story, which was the podcast, what it was called before. And I think I did it for about 4 or 5 months. And honestly, it was way too stressful. It was too depressing. It was mentally taking a huge toll on me. And, we talked about depression, and that actually ended up putting me into another state of depression because I felt like I was still getting nowhere and I was reliving it every day. Like I kept talking about it and talking about it over and over and over. And then people would call and text and message me. Oh my God, the messages that I would get. And it was just overwhelming. I couldn't take it. So I decided no more.
Yeah.
I don't deserve to have to relive this over and over. So I thought, I'm going to take a step back. So I just told my husband, so I'm not going to do it anymore. I just took a step back from it. And in that process, I'd already started Music Mavens of Texas.
Right.
So I thought, I still want to have a podcast. What if I have a podcast where I have the female music artists, producers, women in music all over the place in Texas, or women in business come on the show and we just talk about stuff like that? Things that everyday women go through, whether they're business owners or nurses or photographers or musicians. It's like, I want to give a safe space for those women to talk. And I thought that was more fulfilling for me than having to go through what I was going through over and over. So that's where Midnight Maven came from.
Okay.
Was just a name kind of bounce off of Music Mavens, and it's still connected to that, but it's still a part of me because I feel like I'm a maven. And I want other mavens to come on here. So that's where it started. That's here we are.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And going back to, the podcast initially that started with your mom, I can see the inspiration behind starting it and how it could quickly get overwhelming.
Very.
It's like a very thin line, between it being therapeutic because you're talking your way through it and then it just keeping you in that circle.
Yep.
Or that
It was a
loop
loop. I
of
felt like I was
depression.
just stuck and I couldn't, even on days that I didn't talk about it or record, it was still heavy from the day before. I couldn't even have a peaceful day.
Yeah, your body carries all that trauma. Even subconsciously.
I lost 17 pounds. I got down to like 120, like sickly. My husband was like, honey, you're not eating right. I wasn't sleeping. It really took a toll. I couldn't do it no more.
Yeah, it opened up a lot of trauma. I'm sure that, your body wasn't ready or your mind wasn't.
My body definitely wasn't ready.
Well, and I think too, when it almost, I think it's okay, in these segmented, slow doses, right? But if it's like something that is almost a job where you're having to constantly doing it, then it just bombards your whole system. So you said earlier that you wanted this to be a space where you could bring in mavens.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what that word means to you.
Okay.
The word maven means someone who has knowledge and experience, a woman who's been through things and is still standing.
What is a maven? So for me personally, I feel like a maven is a woman who is strong, courageous, and is full of fight. And I feel like I've already done everything that puts me in those standards because I guess you could say once you read my memoir, you'll understand what I survived, what I've went through, what I've accomplished, and all of those things, and I'm still standing. I feel like I'm definitely a definition of a maven.
I came up with my own answer for this too, and I'll be honest, that's not a word that I've used in my everyday vocabulary, so I had to research it a bit. Mm-hmm. And so the most prominent thing that stuck out to me while researching that definition of that word or some of those things, but then something that really resonated with me was some does go through, the trials, but then they turn that into something positive. Yes. And then they share that with the world or, on a platform or hope and encouragement. And it resonated with me because that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now in this season of my life. So I thought that was really, it's almost in a like woo-woo kind of way. but almost meant to be. You know,
Yes. Yes.
that's what I'm doing with my life right now.
It's the path that you knew you were set on. And it's,
and then it's like all these like little signs and synchronicities, and then you invite me to come on a podcast. It's called Midnight Maven. I mean, it's somebody who has been through a lot of crap, and then helps other people get through it and make it. So I just thought it was.
I think it's perfect. Cool. I think, you know, a lot of women out there probably don't even realize, you know, a maven, they are mavens. And if you're a mom, a new mom, and you have accomplished the first 6 weeks of no sleep, you're a maven, baby. You've survived those first 6 weeks, because that's the rough part.
That is rough.
You know, childbirth, your first job, a promotion, you're successful. You know, anything that you can accomplish or survive or get through, you're still standing, you're a maven. And there's so many different levels of it that a junior maven. You know, you're like,
we should give awards.
I know. So we'll have all the mavens on it. We'll be like, okay.
The MMTA awards or something. But get all dressed up.
Yeah. We'll have to have a gala, a maven gala.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. I feel like the women out there need to own themselves. They need to own their space. You know, stop complaining and stressing over, oh my God, I'm not making enough money this month, or oh my God, we didn't do this, or all the bad things. How about you start looking at the positives? We sold 2 more outfits this week at the boutique, or, you know, we sold this many more apples at the Apple store. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Be happy with the accomplishments. And I'm having to do that myself.
No, I struggle with
understand. I hate this, and I hate this, and I hate this, and I hate my hair, and, you know, but also I've looked at, I'm okay. I'm still standing. I'm alive. I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat. You know what I mean? So it's like, be happy with what you have and work harder to get what you want.
That is extremely true. And it's actually something that I have put a lot of focus on myself. It's something that I've been trying to practice in my everyday life. Positive thoughts, the way that we talk to ourselves.
Yes.
You know, the
affirmations in the mirror.
That's exactly
I've been watching the TikToks.
Yeah, I do. I listen to, maybe not in the mirror. I mean, sometimes, you know, it depends on what's going on, but I do try to, you know, immerse myself in those you know, I send them the music.
Yeah. Send those songs and videos and
that's what you were talking about, the affirmations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just listening to all of them. Right. And it does help. It really does. You just have to stop being, and I really want every woman out there to listen. Stop being so hard on yourself.
Hard on yourself. That's what it is.
You don't realize that you're doing more damage to your own mentality, your own emotional part of your brain, that every time you down yourself, you're just pushing yourself further down. Stop. Say something positive about yourself. If you don't have a spouse that does it, do it your damn self. You don't have to depend on anyone to pick you up. Pick yourself up.
Yeah.
And that's why this is another reason why I wanted to do this, because I have so many people out there. I've had people talk about me behind my back. You know, people be my friend in my face and just destroy me behind my back. That's not a friend. So for me, I've experienced it, and I want women to know you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to tolerate someone talking down to you. You pick yourself up, you look at them and smile, and you move on. You don't have to have them in your life anymore. You just have to make sure that you are okay. Because in the society now, okay is not enough.
Right.
Take care of yourself. Your mental health, your physical health, and your emotional health is everything. That's all you have.
Yeah, it really is. And I see, and I don't know if it's just my FYP, because I'm into all this like positivity and affirmations and stuff, but I do feel like there's a bit of a shift happening right now in women. I feel like they are kind of taking their power back. I do see that. I even see it in real life and work, in the people that I work with that are of a younger generation than I am. I see a lot of positive traits that are starting to kind of become more prevalent than maybe they were in our generation. So that's encouraging to see. And that kind of leads me to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. And another reason for the podcast, of what, like you're saying, just kind of like a place, like a community for women to come together.
Yes.
It's really important.
Yeah.
You know, for women to have that community to be understood.
And part of that, having that community, just while I'm thinking about it since you said that, is on our podcast, there's a spot where you can leave fan mail. And I wanted to say this because a little shout out to our little girly friend in Lindale, Miss Rebecca. We love you. She gave us a cute little voicemail, and she's so super cute. So if y'all know Sparrow and Hugh Boutique in Lindale, please go check it out because they got the cutest freaking stuff. But yeah, leave us fan mail, leave us questions. Go in there, ask us things. Whether it's advice or if you want to tell us something, you can email us, fan mail us, DM us on any of the apps that we have, the platforms. We are here for you. So I wanted to make sure that I said this. If you don't have a place to talk to someone, we're here. And that's why we're here.
I agree. I think I love that idea of being, that place. Like, or developing that community for whatever women, vibe with our energy and, keep coming back and listening and resonate.
Just
with,
a safe place.
Yeah, with the things that we say and really get that piece of it going. I think that's great. I think it's great to have a place for women to come and do that. Close women relationships and friendships
they're not as big as they used to be.
Well, and I was reading something and it was like from Harvard, and it was talking about how what a huge benefit to women's health that had.
Yeah.
Not only mental health, but like that rolled into like physical health too.
A support group. I mean, if you're not looking out for one another, the worst thing that bothers me is when women down other women. And you know for a fact, every single one of the women who are downing someone else is insecure about their body weight, their skin, their hair, their boobs aren't big enough, their butt sags, they have tummies, their husband doesn't give them sex, or they don't make enough money, or the kids won't stop. There's so many things that every woman goes through. So to know how bad you feel yourself, why the hell would you go be mean to someone else? That's what just confuses me.
I've never understood it either. I've never been that kind of a girl. I honestly haven't experienced it a lot on the receiving end either, unless it's behind my back and doesn't get back to me.
Oh, it gets back to me. I guess I got friends who actually come to tell me, honey, I just think you should know something.
But it's also because I don't do anything.
Yeah, you don't talk to nobody. You just go to work and go home or here.
That's probably it.
Yeah, mine was more of, other than back in the day, but here recently, I feel like being in the public eye as a business owner, you do have other people in your line of
jealousy
that are hurtful.
Right.
And things have gotten back to me. Very hurtful things. Very make me go to my room and cry. Hurtful things. Knowing that I didn't deserve exactly what they said. I didn't do what they said. And it's like, it's just like high school again. When you do something and then the rumor goes around, 50 people comes back and you've done something completely different. You're like, I did what? With who? When? Where the hell was that?
That reminds me of those Instagram about like, oh, I did that? Nice. Or something. Yeah. I'm interesting,
So that is something that just, as an adult, almost 50 years old, and women are still degrading other women.
Yeah, it never stops.
And it's like, if you don't know for a fact and you didn't hear it from that person's mouth, do not know. You don't take something from someone else's mouth about someone because you don't know for sure if that's facts.
Exactly.
So I always tell people, if you got a problem with me, you know where the hell to find me. Call me, text me, message me, email me. I'm all over the place. You can reach me.
I have a really great point to bring up. This is the perfect opportunity to do it because this is very important for women to do as well. Even if you are not the one that is going around spreading gossip, saying, rude, ugly things that you don't know
either.
Don't listen to it either. Change the subject. If you have a hard time with conflict and that's not, you have a hard time establishing boundaries, a simple subject change, can casually steer that conversation a different direction.
That is funny you said that. Yesterday, actually last night, I watched a video of this guy. He was on a podcast, and someone had asked him, "How do you deal with people who attack you verbally and face to face?"
Like during a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he asked the guy, and I guess he was some professional how he carries himself. And the guy asked him, he said, "Well, how do you deal if someone comes up and they start cussing at you and calling you all kinds of names?" He said, "Honestly, I just look at them, pause. Well, damn, you must have had a rough day. Do you feel better? Don't let them know what they said bothered you. Who cares? They're having the problem. Whatever they said is on them. It's not on me. I'm just the person catching the shit they're throwing."
Exactly.
So I'm now learning from that. That's what I'm going to do. Anybody wants to come at me? I don't care.
It works.
You don't pay my bills.
I have to utilize that in my role. I don't necessarily have people come and cuss me out. I mean, I do occasionally, because I have angry patients or different situations
Those
like
phone
that.
calls.
Yeah, but not so often. It's been really great where I am now. So not so
Bless
often.
you.
Yeah, but you do have to deal with conflict resolution. You do have
Yes.
upset people, and so or you have to have difficult conversations, and that does if you will take a deep breath, kind of
Yep.
center yourself. It resets the whole tone
Every time.
and
Just
your
deep
tone.
breaths.
Yeah, if you're leading a conversation and you reset your tone every single time. Rarely did I ever have anybody whose tone didn't mirror mine after it. I kind of brought them back down. Even I rate patients or whatever. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always outliers because there's always people you can't reason with.
Oh, yeah.
There's always those people.
Yeah.
But for the most part, even if they're still angry, even if they're still going on, I can't tell you how many times people have said things like, "Thank you so much. I would have hung up on me 10 minutes ago or something." Yes.
But yeah, they know how bad they sound, and they're like, "Crap, she's still on the phone with me."
Well, it does something to somebody psychologically
It
when
makes
you
them
don't
see
rise to their
themselves.
level.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're not
It's-
getting the reaction they want.
It's not about what someone says to you, it's about how you react to it.
Exactly.
Every time.
No doubt. All right, I got a question for you.
Okay.
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 Tell me one thing that nobody warned you about or something that you weren't really expecting about being in your 40s.
Damn. Okay. Honestly, I didn't have anybody warn me about my 40s or my 30s. I guess because usually your mom or your grandparents or an older sister or an aunt would kind of help you with things like that. I didn't have losing my mom at 12. I lost my grandmother a few years after that. Well, 2009. And so I didn't really have the female guidance to tell me what I needed. So basically, everything I learned on my own, which was another reason why, because I didn't have any proper guidance and I've been on my own since I was a kid. That is one of the reasons why I have felt so lost for so long, because I didn't have anybody to guide me.
That makes complete sense.
And I felt like, kid raising kids, I didn't know what I was doing. So I did the best I could. So it's like all those things, my whole growing up, not having that female role model. Everybody's always like, you didn't have a male role model. You didn't have a female one either. Everything I got was in like the first 12 to 15 years of life. After that, I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
So
figure it out on your own.
So everything I'm learning as I go. And I tell you right now, I wish I'd have been prepared for menopause. Because, jeez, that's not fun. So, what about you?
Yeah, well, for me, obviously the physical, things, but I think for me, the biggest thing is like the radical shift in your mentality or perspective.
Yeah.
It's like an awakening, like a rebirth almost. And I don't know if every woman in their 40s feels like that, but I don't know. It's like a light.
Is that something you would compare to a man going through his midlife crisis? Is like a woman finding her midlife awakening and a man finds his midlife crisis? Maybe compare those?
I do. And I've actually seen it said this way that I think a midlife crisis in women is actually them waking up.
Yeah. Realizing, what have I been doing with my life?
Yeah.
Because some women are wives, mothers, And when they do hit that 40 mark or approaching 40, and they're like, well, what the hell am I doing? They haven't done anything but raise kids and be a wife. And they're like, what about me? That's why they always say the empty nester, the woman thought she's raised her kids and now it's her turn. That is a fact. That is truth. And I feel that because this is something that I struggled with. So being a young mom, having my kids, I never went through my childhood because I had my first one. I was 15 when I got pregnant.
Absolutely.
I had my last son at 21. So I went from being 12 with no mom. I had like a year and a half to get through that. I was stuck in a relationship because I just didn't.
You just ran there because
I
you
did.
were hurting.
I didn't want to be alive, and I just went for the first guy that said, hey.
Exactly.
And next thing I know, I've got 5 kids and I'm going through an abusive relationship. And it was, that's another episode. But I feel like not having my childhood put I feel like it marked me because I wasn't able to have a childhood. So I had to jump straight in from an adolescent to a parent. And then I'm a woman divorced with 5 kids. So it's like, and then now here I am, and my kids have gone and done their own thing. And I get punished for certain things. And it's like, if only you knew what the hell I really went through. And it's hard to explain that, but a lot of people, they don't understand.
Yeah.
No.
So I get that. And your situation is extreme. That's
that'd be that's a good word.
That's wild. Yeah. But even I want to say normal because I'm not trying to call you abnormal. It's an abnormal situation you went through. It's not what most people have gone through. They haven't experienced that degree of trauma. So even for somebody who hasn't experienced that degree of trauma, that sounds better. They still go through those things to a degree because, like you said, you go to college, especially our generation, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't have all this like empowerment. It was like you go to college, you get married, you have kids.
Yeah,
like check.
That was the dream.
Oh yeah.
Like today, women they don't want to have kids. They want to be successful. They want to travel the world. They might fall in love, but they're taking their life into control and they're living it for them. Back then, when we were kids,
please do that, by the way.
Yes, please. Because when we were kids, it was all about find a man, get married, have kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It wasn't about getting, going to work and graduating and creating your own environment. No, it was following a man. That was that 70s, 80s, 90s thing.
It was. And I got married in 2003. So, yeah.
Don't think too long about it.
So even the night, that was still like you dreamed about, getting married and all the things. And I think I swirled on that a little bit because what I wanted to say is when you do that, you put all of your attention into raising kids. We all worked full-time jobs too as women of this generation. However, we all manage households full-time too. So you work full-time, you manage the kids full-time, you manage all the housework full-time, you manage all the doctor's appointments full-time, you manage all the meal planning full-time, you manage the grocery store full-time. You manage everything full-time. And along the way, you gradually start fading into the background because you prioritize everybody's needs above your own. And what does that do after years?
It takes a toll.
It teaches you subconsciously that your needs are less important than everybody else's. And so when those relationships roles, so I'm trying to say, kind of start to shift as the kids get older, as things happen, you have this massive whoa,
it happens hard. It hits you like that.
You do because you realize you're at midlife, and you realize I ain't going down like this. Like I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and it just lights a fire inside you.
I did it 3 times.
Yeah, and you don't, and you're a woman. You're strong. You're making your own money, so you don't really give a rat's ass.
Exactly.
What anybody thinks at this point.
Amen.
So, yeah,
don't give a rat's ass. Yep, that's nail on the head right there.
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like And that's the thing that happens today. And for every woman, young lady who their dream is to get married and have kids and all the kids in the world and big families and all the gatherings, that's great. That's exactly, I'm happy for you. You do what makes you happy. 100%. But don't think that is what you have to do, because you don't. You don't have to follow in your mother's footsteps. You don't have to follow in your grandmother's footsteps. If you don't want to have kids, don't. If you don't want to get married, don't. And for one of the things that really irks me, and this happened to my daughter a lot, who had a lot of health issues, but those people out there who always see women and when they do get married and they constantly, oh, when are you having a baby? Oh, when are you having a baby? How about whenever the hell I want?
Mm-hmm.
When I get ready?
Yeah.
This is my body, my life, because once you make that decision, you can't change it. They're there. And I feel like there's so many people having children that are harming them, throwing them away, just abusing them. And it pisses me off, because all you had to do was not have that child. Put it up for adoption or don't have children.
Right.
Because if you are not in a stable situation to take care of a child, even yourself, why the hell would you bring a child into this world?
I saw that a lot in home health. That's my industry. And so during my early adulthood years, I had elderly patients, and I think it was really prevalent in that generation. I don't see it as much. Of course, I'm 40. Somebody's asking me, I'm not 40, I'm 45.
We in our 14. I'm almost 50.
Nobody's asking me when I'm having kids, okay? Right. But I did have patients ask me if I was pregnant in the hospital when I wasn't pregnant, so that was a fun time. But don't ask women if they're pregnant ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Just don't ask women that question, period.
You're right.
Because you're either going to put your foot in your mouth or piss somebody off.
Or, and like you're saying, somebody who's devastated that they can't have children.
Or they might have just lost a child.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah, they don't want that reminder.
I
tell that story.
actually went through that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after I had my fourth child, my Taylor, I lost her. I carried her for 9 months, full pregnancy. And that was 8 days from my due date. And I started hemorrhaging. So went to the emergency room, thought I was going into labor. My baby was stillborn. So for me, that was hard with going through all that process. But afterwards, leaving the hospital with no baby and you still have that postpartum, you're swollen, I immediately go to the store a few days later and a lady says, oh, when are you expecting? I broke down. I just completely broke down, went to my car and just cried my eyes out.
I imagine.
So people don't understand when you say that, you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know the story.
Shut up. I just want to tell people to stop.
Yes. When I had my son, and this was a nurse that did this. When I had my son, he had gestational diabetes. He was born a little bit early. He had some respiratory issues when he was born, and the doctor who delivered me was actually in the hallway. She could hear the way he was breathing. She knew something was wrong, so she came in there, she got him, and she took him to the NICU. He's 17, right? My daughter's 11, so like the process is a little different. So I birthed in one room, and then they like wheeled me, I guess, to wherever I was going to stay.
Yeah.
But I didn't have him because he was in the NICU. They're wheeling me, like one nurse is wheeling me, and another nurse walks by. She's like, "Oh, where's the baby?" And even in my like drugged brain, I was like,
you don't know that she might have just lost
I
the
looked
baby.
at her and I said, "He's in the NICU, but what if he was dead? Like, why would you ask me that?"
Yeah,
a nurse.
Yeah.
Like, are you stupid?
That's a lot of people don't comprehend, and a lot of times they don't realize it's common sense. Stop, look, observe, think, then speak. Don't just walk by and see something and speak, because you can't take it back once it's said. I tell my husband this all the time, which my husband doesn't talk very much, so he's one of those that just kind of stands.
He only talks a lot to you.
My God, y'all. Because you said that, I have to tell this little story real quick. So, my husband, God love him, he is a great man, but his stories, y'all. Okay, I'm his talk-to person. He doesn't talk to other people, so when he comes home from work, he just throws it all up at me. We're sitting on the porch and just having a drink. He's out there smoking a cigarette and just chit-chatting. He's like, he even texted me, let me tell you about today's adventure. Have the popcorn ready. It's God.
Oh, Lord, you gotta hype yourself up.
I am, yeah. So he gets home and he's like, you ready? Damn, let me get the popcorn. So we get drinks, we go out to the porch, and he's like, yeah, let me tell you. He tells me the story about the guys at work and all the stuff that happens. Let me just tell you, I learned every detail. He tells me every detail.
The road was like
The road was this, and we
gravel.
got to there, we opened up, and the machine was doing this over here, and then we opened this up, and
took
we
steps that way.
I'm like, I'm literally, look at my phone. Like, I'm good. I was like, anything exciting happen in this story? No. So there's like no boom, big,
There's no finale here.
no moment. He goes, nope. I was like, honey, why do I need to know this? He goes, I have to tell it to somebody because I got to get this shit off my chest. I was like, okay. So I just let him talk and tell his story. And every now and then I look over, yeah,
Just give him a little nonverbal feedback.
no, I give him jerks. What?
There, that's
No, he
better.
didn't. And he just eats it up. And I'm like,
Did it make them talk more?
it does. But I'm also, it's a really great part of our conversation, our relationship, because he will listen when I have to talk, and I can talk. Apparently, y'all listened to the last podcast. I get to talking, but he'll listen to all my stories, and he doesn't complain, and he doesn't say anything. So I'm like, you know what? I can just listen to his too. So I'll let him get his out, and God love it. My son is the same way. So I'm in the house with both of them. Those are their stories.
That's good. I like that you said that. That's very self-aware of you, and
yeah,
that's great.
I love my husband, so I'll let him talk.
I'll let him talk.
I'll let him talk. All right, what's another question? You had some questions that you were asking earlier. What else did you want to chat about?
Okay. All right. So we talked about being in your 40s and all the radical changes that come with that.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing that you have stopped apologizing for being in your 40s? What'd you say?
Something I've stopped apologizing for. The things that I may have done to hurt someone, said something wrong, any regrets or neglecting, or anything that I've done in my past that I have apologized for 1,001 times, today, I'm done. I will no longer apologize for things that I did 20 years ago. I will no longer apologize for something I said 5 years ago. I also will stop apologizing for something that I did to hurt somebody, whether it was yesterday, a week ago, or 20 years ago. I'm done. I have made peace with the mistakes that I've made. I have asked God to forgive me. So if anybody out there can't forgive me, that's on them. Because you can only ask for forgiveness so many times.
I agree 100%. I love that answer.
I forgave myself. Now they're going to have to forgive me and move on.
Either forgive you or don't, but
That's something they have to own right. I mean, if you're not letting it go,
Mm-hmm.
that was my problem. I had to learn to let things go, and I held that in for so long.
Yes.
I've apologized, and I can't. You know what? I'm done. I'm tired of holding everything everyone that's around me in my circle that has had something go wrong. They want to blame me for something. I'm tired of being the villain. I'm tired of being that person. I'm done.
I love it. I completely support that.
That's why my circle's really, really small.
No, I get it. I love that answer. I identify with that answer a lot too. I think for me, it would be for saying no. You know, I think historically in my life, I've been a people pleaser.
You've always been a yes man.
Yeah, you know, and I think it goes with my personality because I mean I want to help somebody. I want to do, but there has to be healthy boundaries, because you'll just burn yourself out, man. Kill yourself. There's only so much you can do, and so I think for me that'd be what I'm no longer apologizing for. Is
I agree with that.
Is being myself. putting myself
First.
as a priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean I'm not putting, my kids or, whatever. But at the very end of the day, you have to take care of yourself.
If you don't take care of you ain't taking care of your friends or family or anybody else.
That's 100%.
People don't understand that.
And those people, even your kids, they don't live inside your mind, your headspace, your body. It's you that's moving these feet through the world, and so you've got to.
And that's why mental health and
Mhm.
emotional health and physical health are so important, especially as we get older as women.
Oh heck yeah!
And if we aren't taking care of our own, eating right, exercising just a little bit, just walk, something to keep the heart
I'm
active.
horrible. I gotta start. I gotta get back to it. I'm been
Look,
so bad.
I'm just. This is adult only podcast. So I'm just gonna tell you, sex is my best exercise because the one thing, and hey, this is doctors will tell you, your heart rate gets so high that it's better than even going to a gym and working out.
No,
I told my husband
No.
that's how we keep our hearts strong and that's how we stay healthy. He said, okay.
I'm sure he supports that
He
message.
supports that message. So that's one for me. But I feel like physical, mental, and emotional and all that stuff is so important that if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. And everybody knows that. I mean, that's a term that's been said for years. But the no part, I also, recognize because friends who take advantage of you or family members who take advantage of you, you feel like you go and go and go and offer your services and do things because they're your friend and help them out. Where's the thank you?
Right.
Where's the appreciation? I'm sorry, but if you're not acknowledging things that friends are doing for you or family is doing for you, you're using them.
Right.
I'm tired of being used. So my new word is no.
Yes. No is
no. You said that.
No is a
no.
No is a hard word.
It is.
I mean, maybe for a lot of different people, I think women probably have a harder time saying no because we're
especially new moms.
Yeah, we're the nurturers. We want to fix it, and I do want to fix it. That is.
But you have to fix you first.
Yeah, that's a personality trait for me. So somebody, and I think a lot of it has to do with being a leader for so long in my industry. If somebody brings me a problem, like I want to fix it, and so I had to learn to step back and just
sometimes that's how it has
it's not a problem, man. Even though I don't ever say that, but you know what I mean. Like, just do what you can and don't run yourself ragged trying to do everything
and
everything out there. Every person asks you to do.
One of the best pieces of advice that I recently got from a local lady, she told me, stop worrying about other people's situations. Because if you're sitting there and you're worrying about, oh my gosh, they're getting divorced, or oh my God, they're having another kid, it's not your problem. You don't have to worry about that problem. That's not your life. Stop worrying about other people around you, whether you know them or they're on your social media. That's the problem with keyboard warriors.
Right.
They get on there and they think because they're following someone that they're a part of their life.
Yes.
So they got to comment and they got to say things. Just because you're following me doesn't mean you're a part of my life. You're watching my life. My life doesn't revolve around you.
You're a spectator, baby.
You're a spectator. I'm the game. So it's like, if you stopped worrying about everyone else and started worrying about what is here, you'd be so much freaking happier.
I was literally going to say, can you imagine if
the freedom?
Yeah. Can you imagine if you turn that energy back on yourself?
Or something you're passionate about. Your painting, my photography, this. Like, find something that makes you happy and focus on that. And stop worrying about everybody else around you.
I agree. I just scroll.
Yeah.
Unless it's something positive. Unless it's something going to elevate that person in some way. Like, hell yeah, sis, you look fire.
And that little X button, if I see something I don't like, X. I don't want this on.
I mean,
I don't know if nope, I don't need that.
I don't think that I've ever. I think the only negative comments I've ever made on social media is probably taking up for somebody else, being an
Yeah.
asshole to somebody else,
Mhm.
but not just like, hey, you're
And don't even give
Whatever.
give the people that do talk shit. I don't even give them my attention,
yeah,
except for one girl.
that lady talking about your.
Oh, this was a girl. She's not even. I don't even think she's an adult.
Did you go on her Facebook page?
For a second, but it only seemed like 3 pictures.
Close enough.
And those 3 looked AI. And she was half naked, one of them, laying across a bed like this. I'm like, and you're commenting on my stuff? First of all, let me just reiterate this conversation here. If I use AI, that's my business. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit. I'm going to use it. I work way too much, and it saves me.
She don't give a rat's
ass. It saves me so much time. So yes, I use it, and it helps me. I do most of my graphic work. I do almost everything. But every now and then, a little help saves me a lot of hours. So the fact that I used AI to help me create a poster to announce my memoir coming out, and this chick wants to talk about I used AI. Do better. Bitch, you do better. Don't comment on someone's stuff. Mind your business, okay?
A little context here. It was the post was really about like her mother being kidnapped and all these things, and so like this girl, like that was the like, did you miss the whole point? Like, why are you here talking about AI when this woman is talking about the trauma of losing her mother as a child and still of never finding
It's like
all the things.
The context was about the memoir, about me growing up because of the disappearance of my mother. This chick pulls out the fact that I used AI to help me create the poster.
And then she came back with a very reasonable response, thank you. I mean, it was very kind. And then she comes back, and she said, like, if you are pulling that and talking to me about AI, this is about my mom and, like, all this trauma I went through. And she's like, case in point, you used AI to write this reply. And Jake was like, oh, hell no. And
I
said, all right, hold my glass.
But you know what's funny? My response to her wasn't use with AI. I tapped that shit up myself. Look, honey, I'm almost 50. I'm probably 2 times your age. I actually went to school and did learn English. I know how to speak. I don't need AI to help me. If I do, I use it when I want to, but I don't need to. Okay? Thank you.
Period.
Exclamation point. I'm just saying. That irked me. I don't usually let stuff like that bother me, but when you come, this is what pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
She commented on the post I posted in my mother's code case group.
Yes.
She didn't post this or comment this on one of the groups, the Athens or Lindale or Longview. She commented on my mother's code case group.
Right.
Where all the conversations are about her kidnapping and murder and all the stuff.
Yeah.
Don't come at me there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to flip a switch with me? Mm-hmm. I will go real nice to real...
She gonna go 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. I think I hit 101 the moment I read that comment.
Maybe 1,001.
Girl, I was fuming. I was sweating. My hands were sweating. I was mad.
Well, you said, like, I don't understand why. Why? It's because it's subconsciously, like, triggered this immediate subconscious and physiological response in your body because it's tied to something
emotionally traumatic.
Yeah, so traumatic, so sensitive. So of course you.
Yep. And I don't usually get mad at people like that, but God, it was so bad I had to go make me a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled out the whipped vodka and some Sunny D, girl. I am not even kidding. I could not.
Sounds like a little dreamsicle or something.
It's so good. It does taste like a drink. A little bit of ice, a Sunny, and just an ounce of whipped vodka with Sunny D. So good. But yeah, I just had to calm my nerves, told my husband, this woman's trying to make me go crazy.
Valid.
So yeah, if you want to see my ugly side, bring up my mama. Mm-hmm. Try me. I'm gonna have a button that says "try me."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one conversation that I don't play with.
Yeah.
I don't
completely respect that. Okay, so let's talk about guests.
Ooh, guests.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a guest?
Yeah.
Hey, she's gonna be a guest. Woohoo! That's Miss Jean Ford.
I saw that.
I like her.
When are we doing that?
I have to get with her
Yeah.
and get it scheduled. We do have a few. I can give you a couple of people we're going to have on.
Okay.
So Jen Ford will be
Okay.
here. And we're going to have April Smith.
Okay.
We just did a photo shoot with her.
Give them a little background, just a smidge of who they are.
So
they don't know.
We're pulling different artists, different female Texas artists. So because of Music Mavens of Texas, we work with a lot of female artists, producers, musicians, songwriters, singers, any woman that is in music in Texas, you're my girl. So Jen Ford, she's a badass. I love her. She's got that southern drawl with a southern rock with a little country, but she's got that. And she's a veteran.
She's a veteran?
She's a veteran.
Nice.
So all about the red, white, and blue. She's got new music out. And the song she just released is already on the top 100 charts.
Stop.
She just released it.
I'm gonna add her
Yes.
to my Apple playlist.
But she is got. I'm actually in one of her music videos.
Are you?
We did a video about a year and a half ago in Longview, and oh my gosh, I'll have to play it for you.
Okay.
I might even add it to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you should totally do that.
Go to
Yeah.
YouTube. I'll add her video there. So Jen Ford is amazing, singer-songwriter. She's been doing her thing for years. You can find her. It's Jen, Jenn, Ford, Ford. April Smith, also a musician here in Texas. She's amazing. I love her. We just had her in the studio a week ago for her second photo shoot for new material because she's got a new album coming out. I can't wait to show you this image. Let's just say it's going to be
Nice.
fire.
Nice.
Fire involved. But yeah, those two women are amazing. So we're going to have them on the show because we want to incorporate Music Mavens of Texas with the Midnight Maven podcast. We're going to have artists on. We're going to have all kinds of women on. I'm still working on a couple more. Of course, scheduling because of tours and stuff. I really want to get Bailey Ray. I have her hat here somewhere. Jen's is right there.
Nice.
We got Bree Bagwell and Billy Joe over there. But I'd love to get Bailey Ray on here. There's a new one I've been listening to. Oh my God, I forgot her name. I forgot her dang name. I'll have to go more on my thing. I was just listening to her last night, and my brain just went.
That's for me.
And then my voice is like,
Yeah.
and it might come to me before we leave, so who knows? But yeah, so I want to have these women on here. I want them to talk about their tours, their new music, how they got into music.
Yeah.
You know, Jen can tell us all about her veteran stuff because that girl has been through it.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see? Like, I know we talked about this last time.
We did.
Have you thought about it? Do you know anybody locally you'd like to have?
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking through some of that. There are some local musicians that we've had at the shop. Heather
Harper.
Yes.
Yep. I did her photo shoot in
Okay.
2021.
Yes. So she just had a baby, so maybe
Another one?
Yes,
Oh
she
my
had a
God.
baby, so it might be interesting to have her on and kind of talk about that process, being a musician and being a mother and a young a new baby again and all that. But I think too, and I don't know, what do you think about this? Like, how if somebody who is watching us now felt like they had a story that would resonate or inspire. Is that something that they could maybe write in about, or how would they reach out to us?
They can email us, jamiegoodpodcast@gmail.com or crystalfaithpodcast@gmail.com. So they can email either one of us. They can message us, DM us on Instagram or Facebook, Midnight Maven Podcast. They can fan mail us on the podcast, Buzzsprout. Those are multiple ways they can reach us. So yeah, email, DM, fan mail. Reach out to us. Tell us your story. If you want to be a guest, I want to know all your stuff.
Yeah, I sent her this Instagram reel that I came across scrolling.
Oh, yeah?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
It was called for business, like small business owners. It's called Shoot Your Shot Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it was this woman, and she's being serious, talking about every Wednesday she sends
Emails
to 5 people, companies that are
out of her league.
Yep. And she says it's completely changed the way that she does business. Because you
never know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think she on part of it said something about when I send out all these emails, I usually never get a response, but there's always someone who does respond.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. That was another radical mind shift perspective in me as when I came into my, whatever, 40s. It wasn't at 40. This happened more like at 44. But I live my life in Shoot Your Shot Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm sure I know how to weave cables together and make, baskets. Absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah,
okay.
Why not? I mean, who knew you were going to start painting?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, bam, now you've got like hundreds of paintings.
Yeah. So, I mean, I fully believe that
if you don't ask,
bite, and then learn how to chew,
you're never going to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Step 1, get yourself out of denial. Mm-hmm. You are not a loser. You are not a nobody. You are a human being, and everything is a trial. Step 2, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask, try. Failure is not an option because you only fail when you quit trying.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep trying, you succeed.
100%.
I live by that. So, I may be just a regular old Smith County photographer for the rest of my life, but you know what? I'm going to be a damn good one.
Hallelujah.
There you go. So, you may paint 200 more paintings before you get one that you sell. But you know what? You're going to keep painting. This is not about the end goal. It's about what it does while you're doing it.
It is. And it's about accomplishing something that you did not know that you could.
Exactly. And every person out there has the ability to do it. They just got to get off the couch, put the phone down, stop scrolling, and just do it.
Yeah. And have confidence. You just got to believe in yourself.
Courage. Yeah. I love it.
You got to start walking before you feel ready.
Hell, I just need to start crawling. Actually, I wonder if we do that backwards. You crawl and then you walk, and then by the time you're tired of walking, you just crawl.
Yeah, you're rolling.
You push me.
All right. So next week, we're going to talk about all the things that women go through
that we don't want to tell you, but we're going to tell you. I just hope you're ready for it. Because, all those things that women go through behind closed doors, and we go through some stuff. Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to tell you the things that we go through as those women. And it's going to be uncomfortable, very uncomfortable,
but relatable.
And probably a little awkward, but we're going to tell you the truth. So, I'm excited. Hope you're ready. Next week's going to be a good one.
So we had a plan for this episode.
We abandoned it immediately.
As per usual.
Midnight Maven podcast.